So I have a good friend who I was in my running club, actually, and she just started doing triathlons. And she said to me, "Oh, you should do this." And I said to her, "If you teach me to swim without drowning," I said, "I can swim for survival, but if you teach me to really swim, then I would consider it." And I went to the doctor for my regular checkup in December, and he said, "You have my blessing." And I said, "Okay, great." Really? I signed up for my first triathlon, a sprint, in June of 17. And in March of 17, I started getting headaches again. I immediately called the doctor and the neurologist, and I said, something's not right. I knew the pain was different. And I went back, and after a battery of tests, they finally did an MRI and found out that the cyst had not only grown back, but between the scan in December of 16 and March of 17, so 3 months, it had tripled in size. Yeah.
Jeez.
So, we're sitting in the doctor's office, and he's not your typical neurosurgeon. He's a warm and friendly and a fuzzy guy. He's an awesome guy. And he looked at me and he said, "We need to do this again." And I looked at him and I said, "Okay." I said, "But now we have to talk, because you promised me I could do a triathlon. And now you're telling me, obviously, I'm going to have surgery number 2. I said, "And I get that. I understand I need this." I said, "But then we have to have a discussion about next year." And he looked at me, he said, "Okay, well, what do you want to do?" I said, I want to do a Half Ironman. And the nurse practitioner, who didn't know me yet, she was new, she just looked at me and she kind of said to me, almost like a dog when they're confused. And she's like, "Well, what is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a 1.2 mile swim, and it's a 56-mile bike ride, and it's a half marathon." And there was just silence. And she looks at me and she says, "So just so I understand, you've never done any triathlon, but that's what you want to do?" And I said, "Yeah." And, the doctor looked at me and he looked at her and he said, "If that's what he wants to do, then he'll do it." And so I had surgery in July of 17 and August of 18. So it was literally 13 months in a day. After surgery, I did my first Half Ironman at Maine.
Oh my gosh.
It was awesome. And it was, my wife and my son there, and it was great. And I had a bunch of teammates there. And I couldn't have asked for a better first experience. And I told people, I said, "Look," I said, "I ran New York City, which is obviously a big deal marathon, but I can honestly say that the energy and the atmosphere and the environment of an Ironman or a Half Ironman race is second to none." And it literally dwarfed my New York City marathon.